All right, take a drive along parts of downtown and you'll notice well-intentioned people giving food and clothes to the homeless.
Yeah, you see people pulling over and emptying out what they've got, but as News 3's Lauren Clark tells us now, shelters warn that could be doing more harm than good.
Well, simply put, it just doesn't help connect people with the services that they need.
Right now, we're extremely busy. Our shelters are completely full.
It's a need desperately on display across downtown. People who are hungry and cold on our streets.
We have beanies. We put gloves in there. We put a couple of pair of socks.
A need Juan Salinas with Salvation Army Southern Las Vegas knows well.
I think for us, this is the entrance. The shelter is the entrance into our campus.
Providing that community with a warm meal, clothes, a place to sleep, and programs.
Transforming lives and restoring hope.
He says he knows our community wants to help, but some well-intentioned givers...
There is a lot more of that happening during the holiday time.
Might be doing more harm, says Leslie Carmine with Catholic Charities, than help.
We do see a lot of good-hearted people coming, and actually giving out things from maybe their car, on the side of the road.
Things like food, clothes, or goodie bags.
We know their heart is in the right place, but there is a lot of unintended consequences.
Unintended consequences like littered roads.
Somebody then has to come and clean up after all of that.
Fights over gifts or dangerous situations. But most importantly, says Leslie,
and it also can hamper those in need from actually coming in to get service.
That's because she says the free meals are a stepping stone for help.
It allows us to just connect them to other resources as well. So it gives us a chance to talk with them, find out where they are, what's happened, and how we can help them.
Help with programs to get them off their feet.
If they receive something outside, they may not come in, and then they may miss that, a chance.
That's why Juan suggests redirecting that generosity.
That's why we encourage people to come and help us.
To get people the real help they need.
And that's what we want to do to anybody that comes and walks through our doors, is give them that hope, for a better tomorrow.
So what is the best way to volunteer this holiday season? Well, they say cash donations are always great, as is volunteering. They also are in desperate need of warm men's clothing. You can drop that off at any shelter location. We have a link to our website if that is on your heart to give this holiday season. That's news3lv.com. We'll help connect you with that.
We're seeing some encouraging economic news in spite of the potential new threat posed by the Omicron variant. News 3's Steve Wolford has a closer look now at the growing number of new businesses that are opening up around the nation, and if we're seeing that same trend right here in Las Vegas.
If nothing else, the COVID pandemic has caused a lot of people to reevaluate their economic and employment landscape, and in some cases, take a leap of faith.
We just went all in.
For Melanie Sherburne and her husband, that leap meant using money they saved during the pandemic to open a body sculpting business, the Contouring Company, which opened last week.
I would say probably close to $60,000 for the build out. I spent about $50,000 on a marketer, and then I invested in some more equipment, so like $150,000 all in. Yeah.
Economist David Grana says it may feel like uncertain times, but there are some positives favoring starting a small business before interest rates go up.
It's a great time to take out any type of loan or credit before that happens. So that's one thing. The other thing is the federal government has been very generous with the availability of SBA loans.
Big businesses are also showing a stronger pulse. According to a study quoted in Realtor magazine, retail store openings are outnumbering closings for the first time in 4 years. It's not known if the same is true for small businesses in Las Vegas, but the signs are good.
Yeah, well, we're seeing a lot more confidence in the local economy with new businesses opening.
Vegas Chamber President Mary Beth Seawald says the pandemic may have set the stage for a new work life to include new small business owners.
I think people have, across the board, taken a really hard look at their lives. They've taken a look at their quality of life and their work environment, their personal work-life balance.
People like Brian Maxwell, who recently went into the party rental business.
Just working for a lot of people throughout my lifetime. Just decided it was a time for a change and, just trying to make something great for my family, something to leave behind for my daughter.
Seawald says that many small businesses are still facing a lot of challenges. They include workers demanding higher wages and benefits, as well as supply chain disruptions continuing.
And when it comes to that part of the advice about masking up, we're asking tonight about our local mask mandate. It's the rule you're supposed to wear one inside, but what happens if people don't? Are there any consequences? News 3's John Trainer is looking into that.
We have been living with a mask mandate for a while, but after a viewer sent us video of maskless people at a local store, we wondered, is it really a mandate if no one is mandating the mandate? Walking to any store, you've probably seen it. Past the doors marked with must-wear mask signs, there they are. They're barefaced. But aren't we supposed to wear masks? And not that moral look out for your neighbor sense, but in the it's the law sense.
Do you walk in the store and just see people maskless like it's a normal
all the
day?
time? Yes, I do.
What do you think when you see that?
Unfortunately, I'm used to it, but I don't agree with it.
Well, I mean, if it's a mandate, it should be, they should respect that, especially if this is store policy now, like it's our new normal.
We know short of vaccines, masks are the biggest weapon in fighting a pandemic, but those vaccines aren't mandated. Masks are. So who is it that mandates the mandate? If you walk into a store today or go to a Golden Knights game where the vaccine is not mandated, who is it that's supposed to make sure those mouths are covered? The answer is no one. I mean, if you were an employee here, would you want to be the one to tell someone to put it on? Marlene sure wouldn't.
It's hard because you don't want to confront people because some people are just very adamant about it and they get very aggressive. So I would never confront anybody.
Last year, we would get a list from the state and the county, list of bad businesses who were in violation of the mandates. But these days, there are no releases because, at least at a state level, there are no spot checks. Nevada OSHA tells me they do investigate complaints about employees not wearing masks, but want to report a store that lets customers in without covering up. If the complaint isn't filed by an employee or does not allege employee exposure, Nevada OSHA would close the complaint without further action, a spokesperson writes. The county business licensing does do spot checks and hands out warnings when needed, but we don't know if that's for customers or just the businesses themselves. So why might people walk into a store without a mask anyway? Let's ask them.
You wear your mask in the store.
I'm kind of 50-50.
We met Lisa outside the Smiths in downtown Vegas. Like many of us, she's just burnt out by all of it. She's vaccinated and feels like that's enough.
I'm tired of wearing it.
Yeah, just burn out.
I'm vaccinated. I don't see the need.
Now, we did reach out to the governor's office for comment or clarification about how this is supposed to work. They did not get back to us. And for the record, if you do complain that customers are not wearing masks to Nevada OSHA, they do log and register those things. Those reports readily available on their website.
Hi, everybody. I'm Reed Cowan from News 3 Las Vegas. We want to thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Remember, you can always see more of our videos by clicking on the video links. And also don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of our YouTube updates. Thanks for watching.